Welcome back to The Verdict is Black and Neurodiverse. I'm Jade, Black, Neurospicy, and unapologetic.
And I'm Shayla, here to bring you pop culture and legal analysis straight with no chaser. Well, tonight we got a packed show. We're talking about military propaganda, Cardi B's trial, Young Thug's calls, and the WNBA's power move. So let's get into it.
Great. Thank you, Shayla. I want to start tonight with the name change that says a whole lot about power, perception, and propaganda. For most of American history, we had a Department of War. That title was blunt and narrow. It mainly covered the Army. The Navy had its own department. So after World War II, the government merged the services and renamed it the Department of Defense. The purpose was both structural and symbolic. Unify the military branches and soften the optics. Defense suggests protection. War suggests aggression. So, why would anyone want to change it back? Nothing about the military structure has shifted to justify a rebrand. That means this is not about efficiency, it's about messaging. Calling it war normalizes conflicts as the default state. It signals that confrontation, foreign or domestic, is the baseline, not the exception. And here's my critique. If an administration is willing to deploy troops into American cities, even pushing against court rulings that limit the National Guard, I believe a case just was released, the one out of California. Anyway, a name like war could become the rhetorical cover. They could argue it's not the military, it's not the Department of Defense anymore, it's the Department of War. And war is here at home. But let's not be fooled. A government that militarizes against its own people, violates due process, criminalizes dissent, and clamps down on the media isn't practicing defense. That's authoritarianism. And if they want to play the renaming game, maybe we should too. Because calling something by its real name, that's the first act of resistance. But while the government is playing words game, the courtroom is playing a whole different game. And nobody knows that better than Cardi B. So Shayla, tell us what's going on with that trial.
So, as y'all know, Cardi B recently was sued for 24 million dollars. So imagine walking into the courtroom and expecting law and order, and you get wiping out. Well, that's what happened with Cardi B's $24 million assault trial. So the case was about security guard suing her for lawsuit, and the jury came back with a verdict in under an hour. So I'm telling you what that tells you in lawyer talk, that that's how you know the case is weak. Under an hour, more than likely not good for you. And so, but I want to talk about the entertaining part. So we went in for drama instead of a story. The testimony was inconsistent. The scar details were shaky, and the jurors were remembering Cardi's jokes, not the plaintiff's pain. And this was a rookie mistake. I think that the lawyer I don't know what the lawyer was doing, honestly. But Cardi as a witness was probably the most entertaining thing for me. From the jokes about her nails, the coffin styles. She said it was coffin style, not sharp nails. And if you know, you know. The girls that know. From her wearing different wigs during the trial and even confusing her own lawyer, I think at times it was really, she owned the courtroom. I think that comedy might be an area where she is destined to eventually go, but it turned into a performance. And one thing about it though, the pull it back in, just in celebrity cases, a courtroom can be a stage, and plaintiff's side lost the narrative in this case. I don't think they ever controlled it. When I heard like them laughing at Cardi, I was like, "Oh, what was that?" happened. So the verdict wasn't just about evidence, it was literally about who the jury liked and trusted. So at the end of the day, Cardi didn't just win the case. She also turned it into promo, free promo, and she got album covers, memes, courtroom buzz. And the lesson is in celebrity trials, the law matters, but the spotlight matters more.
A word, true.
Gotta be better.
Obviously.
Gotta be
Obviously.
better than that.
Yeah, and then the thing she did at the end, did you see when they was asking her questions after the court? I believe I want to say he was like a blogger. Asked her if the baby daddy was, I guess, Offset her. It
Yeah, some of
was,
them are pregnant again or something like that.
yeah, yeah, and she threw the pen at him.
Yeah. Another assault. She got a good lawyer. She got a good lawyer. So I mean, it was to me, listen, no, it just shows like as a lawyer, just I don't know what his goal was. Like, I don't know if he prepared, if he deposed her
Yeah.
before, if he, sent out discovery because as a lawyer, you ask things. I think I just one thing I wanted to just point out is just it also shows just the detachment of cultures when it comes to like
Mhm.
black experience in this country and other people because there were things that she was saying that the lawyer clearly it was just going over his head.
Uh-huh.
I was like, he doesn't get it, and it's what made it worse because he's like being combative, and she's literally just being, you know,
Honest.
girl.
Answering the question. Yeah.
But now that's one fight for accountability. But speaking of bending justice, the internet's buzzing about Young Thug's phone calls, and you've been saying there's more to it than just gossip. So let's break it down.
Yes, yes, yes. These artists have been making their rounds, which brings me to the next topic. I want to talk about something that's been buzzing in hip hop and probably in just social media circles, and that is those jail phone calls of Jeffrey Williams, better known as Young Thug. Now, the reaction online that I've been hearing is those calls must have been leaked, but it's not that simple. Under Georgia's Open Request Act, once a case is closed, many records become public. But there is a catch. Inmate phone calls usually fall under some type of specific exemption. However, I believe in this case, he was in Cobb County, and I think they kind of used that like up to their discretion. So, so when we see these calls, it's hard to say whether they came from an official request or from some type of inside access. Either way, it's not as black and white as the internet makes it out to be. Like it's not that that difficult getting records. Which brings me to my next point, and this is where I want to zoom out. So at the federal level, we've got the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act.
Mhm.
FOIA lets people demand records from agency, and you don't have to be an attorney. That's the kicker. Anybody can request these records, and you can get them from the agencies like the FBI, ICE, BOP, Bureau of Prisons. Unless they can prove an exemption, they have to hand you over the documents. And this isn't just in theory; like this is law. So, historically, FOIA exposed COINTELPRO. You remember the group that was basically spying and sabotaging the Black Panther movement.
Yeah.
All of that information came through FOIA. Somebody requested the documents and they saw it. Also, a few years ago through FOIA, we found out about the separation of families at the borders. I think it was this big thing about babies being missing and all of this with ICE raids. That information was leaked through FOIA. Well, it's not leaked, but was discovered through FOIA. Then during COVID, a lot of the issues that was going on in nursing homes and in the prisons and all of that. That information was revealed through FOIA. So, and usually the open records request is specific by different states. So it's just depending on what states that you're in. You have to kind of look that up for yourself. But locally, the state levels, you can find out like documents from maybe police who have been like abusive or violated in the past. That's a good way to retrieve those type of documents. So all of these matters because our traditional system of checks and balances is like broken. These type of things are very, very important to like find the transparency in the government that no longer exists. So this is like a different way you can go back to kind of navigating this administration in this type of environment. So when you hear about Young Thug calls, don't just think about the drama, which is very, very good. It's good, it's good drama. It's good entertainment. But also think creatively about the bigger picture, about transparency. And in this fight for justice, every record matters. So now
But
let's
hold
go
on,
on.
I wanna,
Uh-huh.
I wanna think. So I haven't had the pleasure of listening to any of the calls though. So
Oh my God.
what were the calls about? I heard one about the girlfriend. I like her, so I don't want to. Like, what were they?
Mariah the
It's like
scientist.
every day I keep hearing more and more about the calls. So I just want to know, like, what's
Okay.
the?
First of all, you know when he came out, he
Mhm.
was gonna snitch, gonna snitch, gonna snitch.
Yeah.
Okay. Heavy on that. The first release was his interrogation from like when they shot up Lil Wayne's bus. He over there telling all the business. Yes, to the point where he got a sandwich. The police brought him a sandwich. Uh he said, "Don't let nobody else know about this, but hear my number." Eh, Just talking. Exactly. So this one is two different sets of releases. That came out first. Then like 900 and something calls was released. And Young Thug is like, to me, it ain't that like weird because I know Negroes. Like they gossip way more than women. But I
Yeah.
guess on a grand scale of things, people really believe in street cred and all that BS. This is like a shocker. But to me, when I heard him talking, you know how many niggas that I heard it, like telling everybody business, I be thinking that's your homeboy. So Young Thug, he was talking about, man, he talked about Drake. He talked about Future, basically said he need to take care of his kids. He talked about Gunna, of course. He was talking about getting some other woman pregnant. He was talking he talked about buying streams for Gunna that he paid $50,000 to make sure that Gunna first release beat the weekends. He also was talking about how he's going to release his album on the same day as Gunna to compete with his own art. Like this man.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, in my experience, I definitely think men talk, but also I think people like just do unwise stuff on phones,
Recorded calls.
on recorded calls. Like, like I feel like I've seen enough court cases to be like, why would you talk
I,
about?
I'm like, why he didn't have a? Not. I'm an attorney, but realistically, how many of your clients have called you from prison with a cell phone? Like it happens, realistically, or it happens. I've had calls from people. Yeah,
They got
personal
the
calls.
they got
They
everything in
got the
there.
cell phones in there. So
Like,
that's what I said. But I think though, when I listened to his podcast after the fact, I think he was in solitary because he said he only was in. He had 23 in and 1 hour out. So if that's the case, he wasn't in general pop. So how would he get the cell phone? So I was like,
but also, I mean,
so he
still,
was just over there.
But like, it's your lawyer. I mean, I don't know. If it, I could, let me come to you in person. Like, I think I've just been taught as a lawyer. Like, I don't have to even question my client. I can go see them at any time, right? And I mean, I feel like he would only be in solitary because he's a celebrity, right? For his protection.
Mhm.
Uh, you know,
But the recording tell you they're recording calls. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not smart.
anyway, yeah. So yeah, uh, hell, maybe I hope it's a lesson to other folks that's hearing it. Like, watch what you say.
Yeah.
At least don't say it over the phone. So I know that you're going to talk about another fight, and this time for equity in women's basketball, which is a very, I don't know why that's controversy, but
Right. To be first of all, I'm a sports ball. What the girl say? Sports ball doll. Sports, I love sports, and I feel like as a woman, how could you not So, of course, I don't understand why it's controversial topic either. But this year, the WNBA is having the best year ever, from record crowds to a $2.2 billion news expansion. Uh, media deal to expansion teams. I think there are 2 teams coming next year, 3 coming over the next several years after that. So 5 total that are already coming, and they just had another team this year. And yet, off the court, things are getting tense. Terry Jackson, the union head, didn't sugarcoat it when she said flat out, we are in a labor fight. And now, as a contract lawyer, when I hear this, I don't think of drama, but I hear grab your briefcase. It's about to get serious.
right.
So, so basically, here's what's going on. The current CBA, or collective bargaining agreement, expires on October 31st. Jay's birthday, couple
Birthday.
birthday. And that's the Halloween deadline. But honestly, if this deal does not get signed, it might feel more like a horror story for the league. And with 2 new expansion teams coming in 2026, the pressure is on, and you can't exactly launch a new franchise if you don't know what the rules everyone's going to be playing by. So there are 3 paths that could happen. Simple and clean. So number one, they sign a brand new deal before October 31st. Smooth and sailing. But by all accounts, it looks like this deal might not go through on October 31st. Basically, seems like the league is holding out based on what I've seen representatives from the WNB, the Players Association, and also the current president of the Players Association, which is Nneka Ogwumike. It just seems like the league is not really trying to actually bargain with the ladies. And so there's 2 more options. The second one is to extend the old deal temporarily, and they did something similar to that in 2019. This will buy them a little extra time to try to get the deal. And the third one is buckle up. So because we're either going to be talking about lockout or a strike. And for the non-lawyers, basically the difference between these two is if your landlord changes the locks on you, or if you decide to withhold paying your rent until the stuff you need gets fixed, like the heat or the AC right now, because it's kind of hot in LA. But either way, no one's going to be happy and nothing moves forward. So, what are they fighting over?
So I was
Well,
gonna ask.
at the core, it's money and fairness. So, right now, the players actually take home about 9% of league revenue compared to the NBA players who take home about 50%. And
Mm.
as a contract lawyer, I'd call that an absurd split. No business partner would ever accept those terms of a joint venue. I think the ladies have said time and time again they don't want the same exact revenue split, but they do want more. And 9% is really,
Wait, you
crazy.
said 9? Zero
9,
nine. I thought you
yeah,
said 90. I was like, wait,
no,
is this
9. So yeah,
9 to
yeah.
50?
Right? Yeah. So right now in the W, these women are receiving these not women, these athletes, these professional athletes are receiving 9% of the total revenue compared to the NBA, which is receiving 50% of the player where they receive 50%. So second, the salary system is something that the players are targeting. So the players are saying it's not connected to is that is actually disconnected to the league's growth. They want their pay tied to the revenue, and which makes sense, right? So, but legally that means you need airtight definitions of revenue in the new CBA. Also audit rights, so someone can check the books because that's we haven't really had much public information about what the league has actually made, and arbitration if the league tries to get clever with accounting. So otherwise, it's just words on paper. So that's another thing that I've looked at. And third, working conditions, things like chartered flights, health protections, pensions. These are not perks. These are in contract
necessity
terms, right? Necessity, like they're necessary for people that you have playing, putting all this stress on their bodies. So they go right to whether someone can actually perform their job, the job they're hired to do. And so now the players aren't exactly quiet, right? During the WNBA All-Star Weekend, they wore shirts that say "Pay us what you owe us," which is where all the controversy came in at. And it wasn't just about fashion; it was about the collective bargaining tactic. I think it's a very public way of them saying we're united, we're serious, and we're ready to fight. As a lawyer, I call this Exhibit A in their liberty. So I think that so what are some tools that are on the table? Well, of course, we discussed extensions. So you could do what we call a side letter or interim agreement, basically a bridge contract that says, okay, let's keep the old deal in place while we hammer out a new one. That's if they don't get that deal by the 31st. And again, by all accounts, it seems like it might not actually happen. But there are arbitration clauses to make sure disputes don't blow up for the season, and there's precedent. In other words, like the NBA, it's what's been done before. The NBA players get a 50-50 split, like I said before, and that's the comp with the union will keep pointing to. It's like if you sell your house, if your neighbor is selling their house for $1 million, you're not going to let your house go for 500 grand, right? You're not going to sell for like clearly in the neighborhood it's worse over here, and so the bottom line here is that November 1st is a date to watch for. If they strike a deal or extend it, we're fine, but if not, looking for some chaos. So no expansion draft, probably no free agency, maybe no 2026 season kickoff. It depends. The league has leverage because it controls the operations, but the players have momentum because they've got the public on their side, the numbers to back it up, and as any good contract lawyer will tell you, the side with both the law and the leverage will win. So the clock is ticking, and we're about to find out who has the stronger hand here. But to me, the players got a good looking hand. What do you think?
Most definitely. I'm like, so right now, have they, or is this public information? Have they agreed on anything, or it's like a gridlock, like the league is just like?
So all that I've been seeing from the Players Association is that I think during the All-Star Weekend, one of the vice presidents of the Players Association, Brianna Stewart, who's also one of the top players, she was like it was a wasted opportunity. So it's like the league is saying one thing, like, oh, of course we're gonna have, I feel like the diplomatic response that an organization will have, and then the players and the players union is like, yeah, we don't know what they're talking about, but they're not doing anything, and they don't. So this side doesn't foresee. I think, but the Kathy Engelbert, who is the commissioner, was like, she's sure that they'll reach an agreement, but I'm like, it's literally like two sides. So to me, October 31st. Happy birthday, Jay, and we'll see.
I know, right? It's not that long.
I hope they I hope the women, the professionals, the athletes, I hope they continue to fight. Because I've done an extensive video, some extensive stuff on my TikTok, social media about the collective, the CBA, the previous CBA that I didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're I can tell they have some lawyers in the room, and they're
Where's
trying.
headquarters?
New York is where the
That's a
headquarters.
positive. That's a
Yeah,
positive.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, right. Yeah,
Okay.
they have
I
done
feel I feel a little hopeful about it.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
In the South, so
What's South? Other
Delaware.
places too. Yeah. That's what I were these bastards smart about what they okay, that's better. Yeah,
And
that's
to digress, somebody told me they were from the South before, and they said they were from Delaware, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know nobody lived there except corporations.
good. Wait a minute. I didn't know Delaware was the South.
I guess they talk about, is it below the Mason Dixon? Like,
I
Kentucky is
guess.
the South, so I don't know. That's what they said.
Uh, uh, I guess. What? Okay, recently, this is related, not really. I saw something where my girl, Angel Reese, was sitting out for endangering the team. Like, what the hell?
Hey, I think endangering is a interesting word to use, but basically, she said some very disparaging comments about the team that, like, basically, she basically said that everybody can go except her and Camilla, basically. To sum it up, and I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily that people don't agree. I don't think that fans don't agree, but I think it's odd as a teammate, you still got more games and you going in there like, you go to
I need
work.
more context. I need more context.
I don't know. So it
What?
was like media. Somebody was asking her questions in the media, and she said a lot of stuff about like looking forward, and I think that some of the teammates just kind of felt away because it was like a lot, very detailed about basically like everybody can go except for me and Camilla, and if they ain't trying to do nothing around that, then um yeah, she's probably looking. I don't say she's looking to go out, but I think that like maybe some of the other teammates took it away. And again, it's like you go in your job and say F everybody up in here, and then you got to go back to
What
work.
was the question? That's what I'm
I did not see the questions. I only
saying.
saw, you know how articles do a lot. They only show the
That's
response.
what I saw the endangerment. I couldn't find that. I was like,
Yeah.
wait.
I don't know. I think that I thought endangerment was interesting.
Yeah, because it said endanger the team safety. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really understand that, but I also haven't really been active on social media. My Twitter was hacked, my original Twitter, so like I hadn't been active in the WNBA Twitter streets to
Mm.
get all of the tea about what was going on, and so I only saw some stuff. But again, um, that's the basis of what I saw. But
Where she questioned her teammates' ability to win and hinted at leaving if the team didn't improve.
yeah, and like I said, basically, to be basically what she said was, you know, everybody except for me and Camilla can go. I think that the issue that I do see, like again, you go to your job as a talking noise on social media, which I don't feel like she was, but like, they might be looking at you a little crazy and so I think maybe that is where I guess maybe the locker room. And then I think I did see an article that talked about a couple of comments from a couple of teammates that were just kind of like, I guess, a little bit disappointed in the comments publicly. I guess, but I mean, it's also stuff, I've seen online too. So
Mm. I see that. That's so okay. So she was suspended from two things because I
yeah,
saw
that's it.
that she had so many technicals and they were suspending her for that. And then later on, I saw the thing about endangering the team, and I'm like, what the hell? What type of technical she got? So those were two different events.
So yeah,
Got
the
it.
endanger and the team situation came about the article, and I guess maybe to me, I guess are they saying by endangerment? Are they meaning that she's not like being a team player or something? I guess I don't understand. I know what endanger means, so I guess is there a different meaning that I'm missing about endangerment?
I mean, I'm from the age, and I mean, Kobe talked shit about his whole damn team. Like, I mean, the NBA, they've said some real off the wall comments about their teams, and I don't ever remember it being painted as endangerment.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
eh,
looking at what endanger means, but I guess to put someone or something at risk or in danger. Uh, Again, I thought that's
seemed
what.
like she put herself at risk, if anything.
I guess that is what I guess they could get at is that in the locker room, maybe it could cause some kind of a rift or something like that. That's the only thing I could think of because, like, again, endangering. I don't really know.
And was this a question that was after a game that they lost really bad?
It was. I mean, they've lost a lot of games really bad. I think, to me personally, I think that I don't disagree with Angel. But I think that the issue is the front office that they need to do better at building around the pieces they have that are good pieces. And I do think that those pieces do start with Camilla and Angel. And I think that, but again, I think that also people have to have some patience in. I look at Asia's team, right, that they built through the draft. It was Kelsey Plum drafted first, then Asia, then Jackie Young, and then they brought in Chelsea Gray. So I think that, some stuff takes time, but I think that we are in a space also where people want to win today. And the thing I question the most is if they wanted to win. I didn't understand their draft strategy this year. I don't feel like they were trying to build through the draft with, you know, if they were trying to build through the draft seriously, it didn't make sense to me. The pieces they drafted, I would have looked at them also getting in. Well, they did do a veteran point guard, right? But she got hurt. They got Vandersloot,
Yes,
and
so I saw that.
so I mean, which was a good piece. But then you can't predict injuries and stuff like that. So I think that just an interesting year, and I hope that Chicago's front office take. I really don't know what their front office is doing, honestly. And to me, if you have a star, uh, two potential stars, right, that
Hmm.
want to you want to build players, especially if those two players are two very strong post players, get players around them that could make it easier for them to do. Because like the WNBA it's a post league where it's like that's who the four spot is like the best spot in the WNBA. So you got to build around these pieces to make them better. And I think that um, Chicago's front office don't really understand strategy. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, I'm looking at incidents where in the NBA this type of thing has happened. It's been a lot, and I just don't ever recall a suspension.
And
That's
then it's
my
not even a
that's
full suspension. It's like a half game suspension, which,
but
again,
still, like,
to me, it just seems more like, um, you know,
huh.
yeah,
Well,
it seems more political. Uh,
it is
and,
absolutely.
and
And it's like, woman, be quiet, Shucky,
yeah,
shut up, girl.
yeah.
You need to
I mean,
humble her,
uh,
huh?
I don't think she's gonna shut up. So,
Of
I
course
mean,
not. But you know what? Like, when you talk against your team, the coach and stuff don't necessarily have to interfere. Your teammates will show you.
yeah,
They could, like, literally.
yeah.
you hear stories like, oh, okay, he think he missed a big shot, time to play. They ain't fucking with they.
But I don't feel like the coach is who suspended. I feel like it was the
No,
front
I
office.
said this. You have the administration. I'm talking about like regular high school because you get a lot of big headed kids
Yeah.
who
And
be
I
like,
think sports, right? Y'all do what y'all do in that
and
space.
you handle it. Yeah, you handle it. She's a little check her the teammates, and
Yeah.
then but for the man, come on, y'all. Really, that's what we doing.
I
Okay,
feel like their front office was trying to send the
send a
message
message. Yeah,
that
yeah.
y'all got bigger fish to fry. Y'all need to be worried
Right
about
about this October 31st.
right. And
Yeah.
also like Chicago is one of the few teams right now that doesn't have adequate facilities for their
Oh man,
players
come on.
and all this stuff. And when we talk the stuff that they're talking about in the CBA, it's like, hey, you know, y'all got bigger fish to fry. And you got
Mm-mm.
the outfits coming in showing everybody up. I mean, besides like, the Aces, they have their facility, which last year
But
Seattle,
and they earn their
yeah,
facility.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
And last year Seattle
like
Knicks built a facility. New York is doing what they do. Indiana has a pretty nice facility that they share, I think, with the Pacers. And the Valkyries come in, amazing facility, an
yep,
expansion team. And so you got teams
yep.
that
I just saw that.
and it's like you're not even trying to invest in the players, but you want to try to send a message. I guess to me, it's interesting what people what these teams sometimes choose that is important and not important. So I think it's definitely, you know, I think that it's something that the team could have worked out. I do think that
They
because there are
should.
better
Yeah,
players on the
yeah.
team.
This ain't the first
I see
rodeo.
one of the other players that was like that they interviewed. She was like, "I'm too grown for this." Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all ain't even gotta
you know,
amplify that. They can have a way of checking her. Like,
yeah,
oh, I heard what you said. Watch.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I definitely think, and I think that kind of takes it away, and it puts it in the first of all, it puts it back in the media as in a dramatic way. Whereas, again, that could
exactly.
locker room. It could have been handled in the locker, even though she again, Angel's young, so like to me,
Exactly. She could have said it and whatever, and they'll be like, yeah, we addressed it.
in the locker room,
Yeah.
and I feel like the
Don't they
team,
have team captains?
yeah. So I think it was an interesting choice, especially also like half of a game. They don't make sense. Also, like we're suspending her for half of a game. Like, well, you know what? I might come out and not. I don't feel like playing the second half
That's
or something.
crazy.
I think it's just interesting, to say the least, that
You got
uh,
to consider where she came from too. Like, come on, y'all. Come on. Like, she used to playing this type of real, in a
yeah,
system that's, about like one or two people. Like, she's not. Yeah, give her a little time. Like,
yeah. I think that like because even like in the draft, I don't think that that was even the new head coach's decisions. These decisions seem to have come from the front office and what
mhm.
like they wanted. And I don't really, again, I don't know what they want, like what they are, trying. But I mean, to me, you stand to lose too, and then you're gonna be still looking to try to build because if you lose them two, then what are you like? Who are you going to build around? Like,
That's how she was showing out. What's her name? Carmela.
yeah, and Camilla already
She
like
was showing out the other day.
I would like Camilla to be in Vegas. So I mean, Asia
Man,
is her, South Carolina sister. I think it would be great for her to learn under Asia. I think that this is, me.
that's true.
This is what I'm saying. So, like,
That's
if
true.
Chicago loses those two um, players, honestly, I don't even see right now with where the league is going and what Chicago's given so little as a franchise that it's not even a premier destination. Like now, the girlies like, and they got a choice of where they want to go. They want to go where the benefits are, where they know they can get. I remember like last year, some people were showing like just how, and it's interesting because like again, they you know, hear Candace Parker talk about when she was in Vegas, that was the first time she had her own locker, and she is one of the goats of this league, right? But that the league has been for so long. That's why I think that all going back to the CBA stuff, people making it controversial that these women are just saying, "Hey, pay us, give us adequate facilities, give us, pensions, give us benefits." Stuff that you would get on any normal job, and people want to say that they're not turning a profit. Well, businesses that don't turn a profit still give bonuses to the CEOs and the presidents. Okay, so you mean to tell me the people that are going out there night in and night out, risking their bodies for this game, for this league, that are really what make up the league, and that they don't deserve standard things that you should get for
A
job.
locker, her
Yeah,
own locker.
yeah. And so, and like she I'm in LA. I think LA is another team that does not have their own facility, and they're one of the original franchises. I think they practice at like some colleges locally or something like that. I think Chicago was practicing at the YMCA. So yeah, y'all got bigger fish to fry, and y'all y'all want to be mad because the girl said something you didn't like. Are y'all like they acting like they the referees being upset with because referees find the players all the time. We expect that. You get mad because the players complain about you making a terrible call and then they get a fine. But like
That's what I thought. It was something like that when I read the technical. And I said, "Oh, what did she say? Lord, what she say in the game?" I did not know.
yeah, yeah. And again, I think some of the commentary that I saw is that people were just like more so some of the people that were, I guess, a little concerned was like maybe probably not the best work environment situation, but again, it could be
It's happened
handled.
before. It's happened. This ain't the first time.
Yeah,
Come on, y'all. Come on, now. This is basketball. This is sports. Come on.
right. I
Like
agree.
this is not. These are grown ass women. Grown women.
Yeah,
Like, little girl, come here. Come here. Let me tell you. Like, I'm a grown ass woman, a veteran. You think I'm gonna be worried about this shit? Come here. Let me talk to you.
you know what? What was that on the only reason she here is because Tanya Randall got
Yes.
decided
That's
not
what.
to tell him.
And this is basketball. Like, what? I ain't even need y'all to even interfere. We got this.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, interference of that was just it was interesting. And again, I don't think I've ever seen it. Also, I mean, I think on the women's side, a lot of more things that happen are politicized so much more. Like even in the game, right? If there's a foul, how they make it, oh, they're just so aggressive against this one player when it's really just a hard foul. And in the on the men's side, they're like, oh yeah, getting pumped up. He weak, get up, or whatever. But on the men's side, on the women's side is why is she so aggressive? Why is she, like women can't
But then
play?
Draymond Green is up here clotheslining people.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
people just calling the other person soft.
Yeah.
And I think that like a lot of things are politicized. I think it goes back to our discussion about intersectionality in all of these things. I feel like to exist as a Black woman, the league is also predominantly Black, also predominantly queer. A lot of conversations that to a lot of different things just as they seem. So it's like people think that like yeah, it's sports, but it's also Black women, Black queer women, or
Right.
queer playing
Right.
sports. People are going to place their opinions and their things on every little thing that these women do for their own selfish reasoning. People, I think that's why like last year, it was so much to be said about it, and now they have this anti-hate campaign because people were utilizing certain players to push their hateful agenda, their political agenda. So I think that it's just a space where everything. I mean, I feel like, back to our conversation about this podcast, like as a Black woman, everything is political. And
Everything.
it's like,
Political is personal.
no matter what we do,
Yep.
it
Yep.
just that way. So that's a good point to wrap.
Yep, that is. So this was a great episode. Um, we are wrapping it up, and um, hopefully we'll do this weekly. And I'm not I mean, of course, like, share, whatever, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm really not ready to be saying all that yet, but go ahead. And Shayla, you have any closing words?
Yeah, I think to me, I just would like for a call to action based on these topics we covered today. So, file a records request, pay attention to labor fights, don't let propaganda rename reality. And
Mhm.
lastly, I think the closing conversation, if the system wasn't created for us, it can't be the final word on this. So
All
that's
right
all.
now. All right. I was going to say, and the verdict is Black and neurodiverse. Ta ta.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye now.